I thought I was just disorganized. That's what I told myself every time I looked at the counters, the drawers, the slow buildup of stuff that never seemed dirty, just heavy. I believed the problem was motivation, that I needed more discipline, a better cleaning schedule, a stronger burst of willpower. But here's the uncomfortable truth almost nobody says out loud. The mess in your home is not a cleaning problem. It's a design problem. And most of us are living inside systems that quietly manufacture chaos every single day. We think bigger houses create peace. We think more storage equals more control. We think deep cleaning once a week is enough. It isn't. Because when your environment is built around reaction instead of prevention, you will always feel behind, and you will always feel tired. What changed everything for me wasn't effort. It was understanding how Japanese homes are built around calm, not cleanup. Here are 15 shifts that completely redefined how I think about space, clutter, and peace. And the last one is where everything clicks. 1. You think cleaning is about effort. It's actually about architecture. Most people believe cleaning is something you do. In Japan, cleaning is something you design. That's the difference. In many Western homes, we clean after the mess appears. We wipe when it spills. We vacuum when dust becomes visible. We organize only when drawers refuse to close. But in Japanese homes, every object already has a defined resting place. Every surface is intentionally minimal. Every tool exists to prevent buildup, not respond to it. Why this matters? If your home requires constant energy to maintain, it's not built for calm. It's built for crisis management. And crisis management, even in small forms, drains you. Almost nobody talks about this. Clutter isn't just visual noise, it's cognitive noise. When surfaces are overloaded, your brain never fully relaxes. It stays in low-level alert mode, scanning, processing, adjusting. You don't need to clean harder. You need your environment to stop working against you, and that starts with micro shifts. 2. The 10-second rule that prevents 2-hour cleaning sessions. Most people wait until something looks dirty. That's the mistake. There's a philosophy deeply embedded in Japanese life, built on tiny, continuous improvements, not dramatic resets, not motivational bursts, tiny corrections. Wipe the sink immediately after brushing. Rinse the dish before setting it down. Fold the blanket the moment you stand up. Each action takes seconds, but those seconds stack. Here's why it works. When you complete micro actions instantly, your brain associates order with ease. You don't build emotional resistance. You don't let small tasks accumulate into something heavy. What happens in many Western homes? We postpone. Postponed tasks gather friction. Friction builds avoidance. Avoidance builds clutter. And then, Saturday becomes a war zone. The power of small, immediate action isn't about perfection. It's about never letting disorder gain momentum. This is the part people miss. Chaos compounds. So does calm. 3. Why most cleaning products are solving the wrong problem. We think more products mean better hygiene. Multiple sprays, specialty cleaners, air fresheners, deodorizers, surface treatments. But most of them are reactive tools. They fix symptoms, not systems. In Japanese homes, many solutions are preventative and simple. Drain catchers that stop food before pipes smell. Raised trays that keep bottles from creating mold rings. Thin cotton cloths that dry fast and don't leave residue. Instead of asking, "How do I clean this later?" they ask, "How do I stop this from becoming a problem?" This shift changes everything, because prevention reduces mental load. If your sink never clogs, you don't think about clogs. If your counters never gather bottle residue, you don't dread wiping. The goal isn't spotless perfection, it's frictionless maintenance, and frictionless systems create peace. 4. The ritual that turns cleaning into an emotional reset. In the West, we treat cleaning like a chore, something to check off, something to rush through. But in Japan, there's a deeply embedded tradition of intentional, full environment cleaning. Not just to remove dust, but to reset energy. Windows opened, hidden corners addressed, drawers emptied fully, spaces aired out completely. Here's the psychological shift. When you clean intentionally, you process time. You release accumulated stress that attached itself to physical space. Think about it. That cluttered drawer isn't just clutter. It's postponed decisions, old receipts, unfinished thoughts. When you clear physical residue, you often clear mental residue too. This is why, after deep intentional cleaning, your breathing changes. It's not just the air, it's the reduction of unresolved visual tension. And once you experience that reset, you stop seeing cleaning as punishment. You start seeing it as renewal. 5. What your trash says about your attention. Most people don't think about their trash. They toss and move on. But here's a powerful shift. When you slow down disposal, you slow down consumption. In parts of Japan, waste is sorted meticulously, not casually, intentionally. Why? Because when you physically separate what you throw away, you become aware of what you bring in. That yogurt cup becomes a decision. That packaging becomes visible. That impulse purchase becomes tangible waste. And awareness changes behavior. When throwing something away requires thought, buying it begins to require thought too. This isn't about environmental pressure. It's about psychological accountability. Trash becomes feedback, and feedback creates refinement. 6. Why smaller spaces often feel bigger. It sounds impossible, but smaller Japanese homes often feel calmer than large Western houses. How? Because movement is unobstructed. Sliding panels instead of swinging doors. Storage that folds inward. Furniture that disappears when not in use. When you move through space without bumping into things, your nervous system relaxes. Obstruction equals tension. Open flow equals calm. Even subtle design differences, like doors that glide instead of slam, reduce microstress throughout the day. This is where everything changes. It's not about square footage, it's about friction. Less friction equals more mental space. 7. The hidden cost of "I'll do it later." Almost nobody calculates this. Every postponed task carries invisible weight. A dish left in the sink isn't heavy, but 5 dishes are. 10 feel overwhelming, and overwhelm creates avoidance. In Japanese habit design, delay is minimized. Small action now prevents emotional resistance later. This isn't discipline, it's emotional engineering. When your environment never reaches the overwhelm threshold, your mood stabilizes. And when your mood stabilizes, everything else improves. 8. Why clean space slows time. Have you noticed this? In a cluttered room, you move fast. You feel slightly tense, slightly rushed. In a minimal, organized space, your movements slow naturally. You breathe deeper. You pause more. This isn't imagination. Visual simplicity reduces cognitive processing demand. Your brain doesn't have to scan constantly. It rests. And when your brain rests, your perception of time shifts. Life feels longer. Not because hours changed, but because friction decreased. 9. The respect principle most people skip. Here's something subtle. In many Japanese households, cleaning isn't rushed. It's deliberate. Sometimes even ceremonial. Not out of superstition, but out of respect. When you treat your space with care, your relationship with it changes. You stop slamming drawers. You stop tossing items carelessly. You start placing instead of dropping. This behavioral shift creates stability. Respect for space becomes respect for routine, and routine builds calm. 10. Why perfection is the wrong goal. Most Western cleaning culture pushes extremes. Deep cleans, overhauls, massive resets. But perfection is exhausting. Japanese systems prioritize consistency over intensity. Small, daily actions. Occasional intentional resets, but no obsession. Because obsession creates pressure. Pressure creates burnout, and burnout recreates chaos. Progress beats perfection, always. 11. The micro-win effect. When you wipe a surface immediately, you complete a loop. Completion triggers subtle satisfaction. That satisfaction reinforces behavior. Over time, your environment feels responsive. You act, it improves. You act again, it improves again. That feedback loop builds quiet confidence, and quiet confidence changes how you move through life. 12. Why storage should disappear. Bulky storage screams stuff. Integrated storage whispers space. When cabinets blend into walls, when bins slide quietly, when compartments feel intentional, clutter doesn't visually dominate. And visual dominance is what overwhelms most people, not actual volume. Reduce visual noise and you reduce stress. 13. The morning reset that changes the entire day. Imagine waking up and wiping the sink immediately, folding the bedding instantly, opening a window for fresh air. 3 minutes, that's it. But now your day starts from order, not residue. Starting from order stabilizes decision-making. You feel slightly more in control, and small control compounds. 14. Why calm is built, not bought. We chase peace through upgrades, new homes, new organizers, new tools. But peace isn't a purchase, it's alignment. Alignment between how you move and how your space responds. When your environment supports your behavior, calm emerges naturally. Not from effort, from design. 15. The one habit entry point. This is where everything becomes usable. You don't need 45 bins. You don't need sliding walls. You don't need to redesign your house. You need one shift. Pick one surface. Commit to never leaving it messy. Just one. Or choose one micro action. Wipe the sink immediately. Rinse the plate instantly. Fold the blanket without delay. Do it for 7 days. That's it. Because calm accumulates through repetition, not intensity. And once you feel the difference, even slightly, your brain will crave it. The transformation doesn't happen in a dramatic weekend overhaul. It happens quietly, through small, intelligent systems, through respect, through friction reduction, through presence. You don't need to clean harder. You need your space to stop fighting you. And sometimes, the distance between chaos and calm is just one deliberate habit away.